Everyone, welcome back to Friday Crypto. My name is Chase. Today is Friday. Happy Friday. We're going to look at Bitcoin on several different time charts. We're going to look at, the DXY, maybe a couple other alts. We kind of do a overview for Friday going into the weekend, what to be watching for. So if you like the video today, give us a thumbs up. Follow us on Twitter, Telegram, and Patreon if you want more. So looking at the monthly chart to start us off with, what do we have here? Well, so far, we're holding resistance on the 50-month moving average. The 50-month moving average. Let that sink in there. Yeah, that's over 4 years of a moving average. So we're below that. Historically, we haven't been below that a whole lot, but it just came into fruition back in the last bear market. What else do we see on this chart, right? We've talked about it before, right? The 8-month EMA crossing the 21. Historically, the past two times, it's only happened, this is only the third time, but the past two times that it has done this, the bottom has been in. So will the third time be, follow suit, or will this time be different? Right? We don't know. No point in trying to predict the future, but it's interesting to note nonetheless. So let's zoom in a little bit to the weekly and see if we got anything else. So we are now below our key 200-week simple moving average, the SMA here, right? The 200. Historically, that's also been a good spot to at least accumulate, right? Last bear market, that was the bottom. Even the pandemic drop, even the black swan event, right? That was still a pretty good average to be buying at. And I think, years from now, you'll look back at this just like we look back at this and, realize that that was probably a smart area to accumulate, right? It's just hard to do that in the moment because you feel like you're going to, drop another few hundred, another few thousand, right? Where everyone loves to try to time the exact bottom, which usually doesn't work out so well. But, accumulating anywhere around 20K for Bitcoin or, in 10 years from now, right? If you believe Bitcoin's going to 100K, 200K, or more, right, in the next 10 years, then, do yourself a favor and at least start to DCA something sometime soon, right? Don't fumble it away. Don't think that we have to go down here, right? Whether or not that's the odds or not, that's irrelevant. I'm here to try to help you not miss, if we have something like that again, if we have something like that again, right? We don't know, but don't fumble this opportunity away, right? Bull markets make you money, bear markets make you rich. This is that point, right? So, having said that, this weekly close is pretty important, and it seems like it's a bigger task ahead by the second here. We have 2 days, 10 hours till this weekly candle closes, right? Sunday in the U.S. Sunday evening. We have 2 days, 10 hours as of recording right here. If we close back under this 200, which is right around 23K right now, if we close under 23K, the odds go way up that the bottom might not be in, right? The odds would shift more bearish because, as what we talked about a couple of videos now, that you don't want to give away key moving averages right after overcoming them in a big way. So, last time we made this big move up to 48K, and it was short lived, right? And now look at this big move, right? We fell down to the 200. We overtook the 8 EMA, right? First time in a long time. And so far, we're giving it right back. Now, if we can come up and somehow rally over the next 2.5 days to, 23.1 and we close up here, we're still okay. We can still continue this uptrend. We could still go, up to the 21, which is, just shy of 28K now. On the daily, right? Let's zoom in, right? On the daily chart, right? We could still kind of zoom up and hit, go to 26K, or even this zone up here, if these are big ifs, if we close above 23K. If we do not close above 23K on Sunday evening, the weekly close, we are in bigger trouble than most are anticipating. That would likely extend the bear market much longer than we all would want, and it would likely also start to signal that the bottom may not be in just yet, and this time would actually be different. So keep that in mind on Sunday close. If we are below 23K, the caution flag should be in high visibility. Okay, so how about the daily? Right, we did the daily. How about why are we stopped here? Right, Well, look at these two levels, right? Look at this initial low, right? That closed at 21,261. Look, what's our low? Look at our low, 21,264, right? You think that's coincidence? No, right? And if you have trouble seeing that, put on the line chart, right? Easy. Look at this. Like even this peak back here, right? Same levels, right? That top 21,189, 21,2, 21,2, 21,2, right? So this is our next big level. If we close under that, if we start going, under that, and we close today, right? If we close today in 9.5 hours, 10 hours or so, if we close under here, right, that would also signify more downside. However, if we bounce, we still got a chance here because that would signify either a double bottom and not making a lower low on the bigger chart, right? So we could still kind of continue this uptrend, but that's really not in the odds on the daily chart because of what we talked about in several videos yesterday, and we put stuff all over Twitter all day saying that if we break this key line, that we're in bigger trouble than most anticipate, because it would have been our third consecutive day closing outside of that line, right? The rise after the fall, right? Those are bearish patterns, and then this is where we are, right? So we want to hold this level 21.2ish, and we're still okay on the daily to at least get a bounce. But if we get a bounce and reject anywhere before putting in a higher high, then we're likely going to be bad news bears, right? Maybe we rally up to maybe this level right here. See this point? Maybe we come back up to here over the next couple days, and then send it down lower, right? Watch for that, right? If we bounce here, you got to be looking for the next resistance level, and that'd be that kind of the pivotal level we just lost, 23K. Somewhere 22.5 to 23 will likely be the resistance point. You could probably imagine a world where the 8 EMA is somewhere right in that level as well when we get up there. So watch the 8 EMA for bounces to short again if you're into day trading a little bit. Swing trades, those would be the levels to be watching for. And then use your line charts for support and resistance. Becomes very easy, much less subjective, much more accurate levels to be drawing on the daily chart like that. So let's see if we bounce here or start closing underneath that candle, lose that low, and that would really just nail the coffin, put the nail in the coffin for this pattern rolling over and a new downtrend starting in a bigger way. All right, so that's that. What else do we got? How about, I did want to show you, let's see here. Let me see if I can find it. Here we go. The ADX and DI, but I want to not do link yet. Want to show you on Bitcoin here. So the ADX and DI, right? Bears are in charge on the hourly, and look how strong they are. Anything above 25 is considered very strong. 40 is, you're getting Schwarzenegger-like, and then, obviously this high, the strongest man alive. So hourly, bears are bigly out. How about 4 hour? Still very bigly out, but the ADX is still kind of fumbling around. How about the daily? Right, bearish. Right now, cross bearish for the first time since late July here. We crossed bullish in late July. We're now crossed. These usually do not fumble around that quickly, right? Even here, right? This was a few weeks apart, right? So keep that in mind. The bears have crossed pretty big, but if you see this ADX curling up, all right, it's going to get more bearish. How about the weekly? You catching a trend here, right? The hourly, the 4 hour, the daily, the weekly. The bears are all in charge, right? You should be leaning bearish bias not because what I'm saying or anybody else is saying. The charts are telling you that. The indicators are telling you that. Bearish is the bias right now on every time frame that we've looked at. Keep that in mind, okay? So want to reiterate that point. So longing when you're under all the moving averages, generally not a great idea. You want to be thinking about shorting into resistance levels. So if you get a bounce, maybe this level, the 8 EMA, that's your level 2 short again. Then you just put your stop loss right above. You'll do fantastic. If you just follow those rules, short at resistance, buy at support, you're going to do very well in trading if you're disciplined enough to use your stop losses correctly. All right, so that's enough for that tidbit. How about the DXY? I'm sure most of you have heard by now that the DXY is doing the damn thing, and we're getting ready to take out this top. I mean, there's nothing really stopping it. We better hope for a double top, right? But man, I really don't see it yet, right? Look at these moving averages. There's no sign. This is power move right here. So launching off, this closes the weekly today, and guess what? If we closed here, it's our highest weekly close in 20 years. Yo, you're making that up, Chase. No. 20 years, right? We can go back. The chart has to damn load, right? We're looking at 2002 here, right? This would be the highest. Let that sink in. The highest weekly close in 20 plus years, right? If it closed just a little bit higher than that, right? So the number to watch on that is 108, right? If we close at 108 today, right? The weekly closes today, and the DXY goes Monday through Friday. It's good night crypto for a little bit. I think we better lean much more bearish if this closes at 108 or higher, because the DXY is still in a powerhouse bullish market because it's holding the 21, it's holding the 8, right? Those are bullish things. This is what you want to see when we start our next bull run out of Bitcoin, right? You want to see the moving averages spread apart. You want to see them holding the uppermost moving averages, and then bouncing off key levels here. This is textbook bull market power, right? That's it. So watch that close today, 108, and good night for a while. It was going to get much more boring than it has been in crypto if we start to explode further on the DXY. So there you go. Bitcoin dominance is really falling. Now it's not so important that we track Bitcoin dominance that much, but what is important is these lows, right? And once you get these bounces, right? Once you get super low here, once you start getting these bounces and these turnarounds, right? Bitcoin's either dropping, really fast or rising really fast. So Bitcoin's probably going to be your best place to be on these initial bounces. If we fall a lot, Bitcoin usually falls a little bit less than alts. If we rise a lot, Bitcoin usually rises a little bit quicker, or quicker than alts. So just keep that in mind. Watch that. Once we get that turnaround, I don't know when we're going to get that because this is looking pretty bad. Maybe we're looking at a fresh lows not seen in a long time out of Bitcoin dominance. So we will see what's going on with that. Ethereum, just watch your lows, right? We're holding resistance at the 21 EMA on the weekly, right? I would look for either a bounce right off the E, and let me zoom in here so you don't have to get your magnifying glasses out here. Looking at the weekly, right? We're holding so far right at the EMA 8. If we break under that, there's your next target right there, 1260, roughly, right? That'll change a little bit, but the 200 week SMA is the next one to be watching. That would also be a higher low on the weekly, so that would be good out of Ethereum if we could somehow bounce either here. Obviously, if you're a bull, you want the EMA 8 to be holding. If you want a better chance to buy Ethereum, right there, probably a pretty good idea to at least start the DCA back in the market. So that is that on the weekly. How about the daily? Right, we have this this rising wedge pattern here that's breaking down just like Bitcoin did. So just be watching out on the daily. We don't have a whole lot left. 1660, 1650. If we close under that today, look out below a little bit. That 1260 number. How about our boy Mr. Chainlink real quick? If you're still here, starting to really roll over here. We're losing this low. That closed at 717, 718. So if we close under that today, then look at these next lows. Probably going back to here. Maybe even here, right? Let's zoom out to the weekly, see if we get anything more bigly, right? There's our 8 EMA, currently about 760 or so, and look for, a bottom, right? This is Chainlink's trying to form this bottom here, so we're probably going to be revisiting somewhere in here between the low sixes, and you could even, draw this as a zone if you want. You got a couple wicks in here, so, 620 to 520. More accumulation zone. If we break under that, then watch out. So Just look at that resistance right on the 21 EMA, coming down now. So just accumulation. If you believe in Link, which hopefully you still do. My light's not on. It's on purpose, just because I feel like the video quality is better. What do you think? I can't get the if I turn that on, it gets nutty. Like it throws the camera off. So if anyone out there has got any suggestions, I'm all for it. But I can't get the balance. I can make the sign look good, but then everything the video looks way worse. If I have it off, right, I feel like the video looks pretty good. But maybe you'd rather just see the sign. I just zoom in on the sign and just have that on. You just hear the sign talking. That'd be funny. So that's Chainlink in a nutshell. Just on the weekly, on the daily, right? Just watch We've broken under all the moving averages. So when you do that and you have no more support levels, you got to look to the last low, and then also switch to a little bit more bearish mindset, right? Stop looking to be buying until you get back to major supports, and that on the dailies kind of right around that $6 area, right in these lows. So if you're wanting to accumulate, I think buying Link for $5 to $6, and a handful of years, you're gonna be well rewarded. So I think Link will still have its day, but it's had a rough year, so I think we're all well aware of that. But that's kind of our Friday summary. If you want any other alts, list them. But follow Bitcoin. Bitcoin's kind of the whatever Bitcoin does, everything else seems to follow, right? Bitcoin moves the market. The market doesn't move Bitcoin. So if you're trying to day trade or swing trade and you're having difficulty, start with Bitcoin, right? Much easier levels, right? Because like I just said, like whatever Bitcoin does, the rest of the market's going to do. So all these other coins could have their levels, but if Bitcoin's going to decide to randomly dump, guess what your levels mean and your alts? Shit. Bitcoin's much easier to trade. It's less volatile. Get your footing there. If you're successful in Bitcoin, right, you can make more money down the line in alts, but just throwing my 2 cents out on that. So let's see, 17 minutes in. Let's see if we can keep it under here, 20. I'd rather have roses on my table than diamonds on my neck. Great quote. If you're struggling with that, maybe you're more the diamond person. So this meaning, right? She'd rather have someone that cares about her than have money. A lot of people I've met that have a lot of money and are not happy or work too much. Terrible family life. But this correlates to that right there, right? Roses, right? You have to have someone that cares about you to buy you roses. Roses don't last forever. Diamonds, you got it. Hopefully you got it. All right, car of the day. My favorite car in world history all time. If every car was, if you could pick one car, no price, right? This would be it for me, right? I have my levels, right? I have my, under a million, 1 to couple million, and then, any price, anything goes. This is it. The Pagani Cinque Roadster. It's a little bit older, right? But it's still, it doesn't look like it, right? Amazing. This is my favorite car of all time, and this spec would do me just fine. I love yellow on supercars, hypercars, old cars, carbon fiber. There's the air scoop. Look at the glass; it wraps around. The glass is curved, like a 6-foot rounded curved glass. It's cheap. Sounds cheap to replace. I'm sure the mirror's about 10 grand to replace. Look at the mirrors just coming off here. Amazing. Just pure art. Rolling art. Go with that. Look at the scoops to cool off the back. Right, sick. That's air scoop. Amazing. Hey, we got a rear view. There's the back. Just rocket fuel exhaust here. Uh, Pretty amazing for being 20 years old. Still my number one car. All right, that's it. That's it for this one. Have a great weekend. Watch those weekly closes. Watch the weekly close on DXY today. Let me know in the comments below. Last video, man. My videos, I get 95% spam bots, and I get 5%, comments from real people that, generally watch my videos. And so if I miss your comment or I don't comment, it's not because, I am not looking. I read through all the comments, but sometimes they get through those, or they're in between those 47 spam bot messages about whatever shitcoin or whatever they should follow. So if I don't respond to you or I don't hit your like button or whatever, it's not because I'm ignoring you. It's because I just generally didn't see it. So I'm trying to go through all those and add those to the shit list for to bam those spam bots. But it takes some time. So I appreciate you watching this long if you have. I appreciate you watching all my videos if you do. Subscribe and like if you haven't already. I'm sure you have if you're watching this far. So I will see you on the next one, and have a great weekend.